All right, hello everybody. This is Mike with Netpicks.com. Really excited to show you guys today some of our new options tools that we have been hard at work on over the past few months. To be honest, I have not been this excited about trading options in a long time. I think you guys are going to love some of the tools that we have been developing. So I'm going to give you a quick glimpse into how the tools work, how I've been using them. On my side, I've been trading now with the new tools for a number of months and just been thrilled with the results. And why did we take this approach? Why did we go back to the drawing board and come up with some of these new tools? We went to our customer base and we said, okay, what's working for you, what's not? And some of the feedback was pretty fascinating. And the top response that we heard from people, you guys are just like us. You're going a million miles an hour, right? You're working part-time, full-time. You're busy with family commitments. Life is busy these days for everybody. And let's face it, you don't have hours on end to sit there staring at charts. And what I've found interesting, we've gone from an environment where people used to spend a couple hours a day trading. We then got down to around 30 minutes or so. Over the last couple of years, I've really devoted about 20 minutes or so a day to look at the charts, to where now I've been interacting with people lately that say, Mike, I literally have 5 to 10 minutes a day to look at my trades, get trades on, manage things, and then I've got to get on to other things. So based on that feedback, we said, okay, how can we simplify it even more so for people? And we've developed what we feel to be some pretty powerful tools. So I'll show you some of the different tools here over the next few minutes. And then also super excited to share with you guys that we're going to be releasing these new tools later this week. And I'll show you a sign-up link for the webinars that we'll be holding on Thursday. That's where you're going to be able to get full access to this new program. So let's take a look at the actual system in progress. This is a chart of NVIDIA, symbol NVDA. With this new service, we're really focused on the Nasdaq names. Now, why are we doing that? The program is called the Nasdaq Options Superstars. Why are we focused on the Nasdaq? Everybody gets that idea in their mind that when you hear about the Nasdaq, all that includes are the tech names. Apple, Amazon, Google, Netflix, and that certainly is a big part of it. But there's a lot of diversification inside of the Nasdaq. There's a lot of different sectors. There's a lot of different price points on stocks. It's a really great area to focus on. If we're trying to limit the amount of time necessary to look at the charts, one way of doing that is making sure that you're looking at a defined watch list every day. You're not trying to run scanning software every evening, every weekend looking for the next hot name. You're really getting to know the products on your list. And the NASDAQ, it allows us to get the diversification that we want. We want to be able to trade where the volume's at. The NASDAQ products have the best liquidity market-wide on a regular basis. And I flat out want to trade names that move. I want to trade where the volatility is at. And we oftentimes find that best movement in the NASDAQ names. NVIDIA is one of those tech names, certainly, that has been very active for us. Over the past year and a half or so, we've had some really nice results with this product. Now, a big difference between the new tools and what we've done in the past is it's very predictable when we know it's time to come in, look for new trades, and to manage our trades. We are using a time-based chart. We're using a 195-minute chart here. It gives us 2 candles a day instead of 1. You'll get 1 candle a day on a daily chart, obviously. So we're trying to speed it up a little bit by getting 2 candles a day. It works out really well for us. So if I pull up my data box, because we are using a time-based chart, you will see I get 2 candles a day, one at 9:30 Eastern and one at 12:45. Very predictable when those candles are going to close. If I'm waiting for a candle to close to get a setup, I know exactly what times a day I need to come in and check on the charts. What's also beautiful about this approach is it's a slower moving system. Now, when I say slow, I'm not saying taking positions for months on end. It still keeps us very active, but it's not a day trading approach. We're not in and out same day. We're typically in these trades for anywhere from 5 days on out to a couple of weeks is very typical for us. That's a big difference. We have loved to use the range-based charts in the past. They continue to work really well for us, but in order to cut down in the amount of time required to look at the charts, going to a time-based chart has really helped us out. Now, I have marked this red candle. This was back on April 17th. This was the short setup that we just closed out of here today. So it took some time, certainly, for this trade to play out. But I marked it with this red arrow. Why was it a setup? You'll see that I have two different indicators down at the bottom of the chart. I've got my sentiment indicator, which is the red and green histogram down at the very bottom. And then I've got my pulse indicator right here, the solid red histogram up at the top. Both of those indicators are used to identify when potential setups are valid for us. On NVIDIA, I marked this candle. This was our setup candle. The reason we had a setup here, my sentiment indicator down at the bottom went red. Okay, so when I see that sentiment indicator going red, it tells me the trend is starting to move to the downside. We have seen some pretty amazing trending markets over the past few years, and this indicator does a really good job of identifying those trends for us. We love to look for reversals in trend as well, but another big piece of feedback that we had from our students is they were interested in more trending type trades. This new indicator is going to do a great job of identifying those moves for us. Now, on the pulse indicator up at the top, it was indicating that we were starting to get overbought. Now, I was looking for a series of lower lows on the pulse indicator, and I need a series of 3 lower lows, which we got right in here in the sequence that I'm identifying up at the top of the chart. So once we got a candle to move below our moving averages up top, it gave us a short trade. Okay? And in this case, what I did on NVIDIA, I came in and I bought the May 190-185 put spread. We like to use a lot of vertical spreads with this service because it lowers the cost of the trade for us. It lowers the cost in many cases by 50% or even more when compared to just buying the outright call or the put. We bought the $5 wide spread here for $2.58, $258 per spread. The reason I love to use spreads, regardless of your account size, I know many of you are trading the $5,000 to $10,000 account. This is a very doable trade for you, regardless of account size. If you're trading a bigger account size, perfect. You can trade multiple spreads, multiple contracts. A lot of flexibility here. Now, another big difference between the new system and what we've done in the past. In the past, we have managed our trades based on the price of the stock, which has worked out really well for us. So if a specific stock price is hit, for our target or stop, we'll go ahead and take the trade off. The problem with that approach is it takes more time, right? Because I don't know ahead of time what the option price is going to be when a stock price hits our target or stop level. With this approach here, I am targeting 100% returns initially on the price of the spread or the price of the option, and I'm risking 50%. Because I have all of that defined in advance, I know exactly where to place my closing orders. When I placed my entry order right here back on April 17th, the minute I put that trade on, I created a closing order. And I created my closing order for $5.16. Why did I pick that price? Because that was double what I paid for the spread. It gave me 100% return on the cost of the spread. Now, I set that order up ahead of time. I set it to a good till cancel order. That way that order is in the market working. I don't have to be by my screen. I don't have to be by my mobile platform. If that price is hit, it'll be executed for me and it'll take the profit. That level was actually hit here today. In real time here, you take a look at markets that are still open at the time of this video. We hit that $5.16 mark, 15-cent mark here earlier today, and we closed out of the position. It gave us 100% return. Now, how often did I check up on this trade? Not only did I have my closing order in for my target, I also had my closing order in for my stop as well. So everything was outlined for me. I literally looked at this chart no more than 60 seconds a day since I put the trade on. Everything's outlined for me. I know where my targets are at. I know where my stops are at. I know all of that in advance. And it just makes trading so much easier for myself. That's why I love to trade this new approach. I'm busy just like you guys. This cuts down on the amount of time that's required to go through a whole series of charts very quickly. We got into this trade on April 16th. We just got out of this trade here today on May 13th. This is not a position that you have to come in and manage all day long. Let the trade work. Let it do its thing. I made 100% return. I was absolutely thrilled with that. Now, we took it a step further. We could have just trained you on how to use the indicators, how to identify the setups, but we actually turned this into a signal service. And what we've done with the Nasdaq Option Superstars program, we're going to send out those trade alerts to you each week. And here's what a trade alert looks like. Let me pull up the NVIDIA trade alert. This is the alert that we send out. We give you the exact details of the trade. Symbol NVDA, we bought the 190, 185 put spread. So I'm buying the 190 put. At the same time, I'm selling the 185 put. Even if you don't fully understand what a vertical spread is, if all you did is follow the information in this alert and go to your broker and take the trade, you're going to be just fine. When it's time to close out of the position, we'll also send out a closing alert. However, look what's also included in this initial trade alert. We mentioned we're targeting 100% return on this trade while risking up to 50% of the cost of the spread. We're going to give you the exact information that you need to create those closing alerts from the moment you put the trade on. That way you can get the trade on, get back to work, and not spend hours a day just staring at a computer screen. No one has a desire to do that. I know I don't. I want to get in. I want to make a good return from the markets, but I do not want to spend hours just stuck in an office. Now, we actually took it a step further. Here's what I'm super excited about, another brand new tool. Now, this is a very basic view of a brand new app that we have developed. This is going to be the Netpicks trading app that you can actually download and put on an Apple device, an Android device. Inside of that app, you're going to find all of the trade picks. You're going to see our past performance. You're going to be able to look at some basic charts. You'll have access to our blog, to our education tools. You're going to be able to message us back and forth right from the app on your phone. No longer do you have to go check your email, get to your computer. You're going to be able to have those notifications turned on your mobile device. So when we send out a trade alert, it pops up right there on your phone in real time. You have all of the information that you need to go right over to your broker platform and place the trade. So super excited. This is something we've never done here in the past at Netpicks. We've never had an app that we've released, and I think it's going to be a game changer for a lot of us swing traders. It gives us a resource. It puts more tools in the palm of our hand instead of having to go, drag a laptop with us, make sure that we find a Wi-Fi connection. You're going to have all the information that you need right from your phone. So again, really excited about these tools. I showed you the trade on NVIDIA here today. We've closed out of winners on Costco and Amazon and Baba, QQQ. I mean, there's just been so many great moves here lately. There's just been a ton of profit. I have not seen this type of performance in my trading in a long time. It's just been absolutely phenomenal. So I'm super excited about sharing in more detail how we do some of this type of trading, how we use some of these new tools, and we're going to be doing that here on this Thursday. We'll have 3 different webinars, which you'll find a link to down below the video. We'll be live at 8 a.m. Eastern, 12 o'clock Eastern, and then again at 6 p.m. Eastern. So pick your time, whatever works best for your schedule. We'll go into more detail, how we use these charts, what is included, how do you use the system. So we would love to have you join us. In the meantime, if you have any questions, if you need more details from me, feel free to send me an email. My direct email is mike@netpicks.com. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. Really look forward to seeing many of you in the webinar coming up on Thursday. We'll talk to you then. Happy trading, everybody.